Good afternoon, friends. I don't know, my association with Indian Smart Grid Forum is that of a father. Many of me are aware of it. Probably I was the founder president of this Indian Smart Grid Forum way back in 2010. It's like coming back to the prodigy again after many years later. That was the time when I was the director in the Ministry of Power, 2010-11, and this is the first time this concept of Indian Smart Grid Forum was formed. And we traveled a lot of places, to California, to many other places, and even to Jeju Islands in South Korea, when the World Smart Grid Forum was formed, and we were one of the signatories. In fact, I had signed. I have very interesting memories of the food we had in Korea, because they were put on a pedestal and asked to give so many seaweeds to eat, so I had to sit in the pedestal and eat that. So that is what I have memories of signing the MOUs in Jeju Islands. But very happy that this has emerged from National Water Smart Grid Forum to a national Smart Grid utility forum, a smart utility forum, covering water, electricity, and gas and other things. So today's role, I am here as to look at as the Additional Secretary and Mission Director for the National Water Mission. So it's basically on water. So I'm not talking, or I'll not be talking anything about the problems which we faced in the smart grid sector. We spent a lot of time trying to design a smart meter. I was one of the Prime Minister's, there was a member, a committee headed by Sam Pitroda, and then I was a member of that Prime Minister's committee. We tried a lot to get a smart meter for the entire country. I don't know what happened to that. So you leave the chair, then you forget about it. So there was a lot of trust at that time on forming a smart meter, a $10 smart chip meter to be put in all the homes as a part of the APDRP, that's Accelerated Power Reform Project or something at that time. Okay, coming back to the water sector, India is not actually deficit in water. India has a lot of water. We have 4,000 BCM water available. It is not evenly spread in time and space. It is spread, it varies. But nevertheless, there is sufficient water provided we use them properly. And one or two very interesting points about Indian water sector is we use 85 to 89% of water in agriculture sector, whereas in other countries, US and all, probably 60-65% goes for industry sector. We use only 5% of the water in the industry sector, and remaining 80-85% goes in the agriculture sector. And our experience is that since a Bhagavan ki den hai, it's a Kudrat ki den hai, so nobody bothers about water. And that is the biggest problem which we face. We, in the last 3 months, started a very interesting campaign called Sahi Fasal. Water Mission has started a campaign called Sahi Fasal, which is to nudge the farmers, Indian farmers, to go for crops which are less water intensive and use water efficiently. It's sounds very simple, but it's very problematic, because Indian agriculture is dependent on many things. Everybody knows it is dependent on rain. Okay, apart from that, it is dependent on many things. It is prodded, pushed by various factors. Skewed government policies are there, politics is there, different departments pulling it different ways. And interestingly, the crop pattern is guided by something called an MSP, minimum support price. This is the one which drives actually Indian agriculture. If you ask a farmer to change from paddy, they will not change it, because these days I have MSP. I remember the story of Shashi Kapoor, मेरे पास माँ है, यह इनके पास MSP है, they will not change. And whom are they producing paddy for? Nobody knows. We have 3 times the requirement of paddy with us, or rice stocked in in godowns, FCI godowns, very happily being eaten away by rodents or being getting wasted out there. Still we produce paddy. Every year we produce more paddy. And states like Punjab and Haryana grow paddy, burn the stubble, create problem in Delhi. So it's basically nobody wants paddy. We don't require paddy to eat. We don't require paddy to leave a stubble there and pollute the air in Delhi. But still we go for paddy. Why? हमारे पास माँ है, मेरे पास MSP है, मेरे पास policies है, which says that Punjab says I will give free power. तो free power and paddy से क्या मतलब है? Free power by people buy submersible motors and hook करके देखते हैं. Whenever power comes, it starts pumping. Whenever power stops, motor stops pumping. That is the irrigation technique in Punjab. So what happens? The water table has gone down in Punjab so much so that out of 138 blocks in Punjab, 109 blocks are drawing water more than 200% of what is being put inside. That is, it's 108 blocks are red, overexploited zones. We never thought that Punjab would be a place where there will be a shortage of water, because some Nami Punjab hai, 5 rivers are there, a lot of water is there. And 75% of the irrigation in Punjab is groundwater. And that is pumping the water up. So that is one major issue which we are facing in water. So we have come out with another campaign, apart from Sahi Fasal, which is to nudge the farmers to go for a better crop, which uses less water, like corn, maize, other things, millets, which are more nutritive. And to nudge the farmers into that direction, we have to put a lot of other policy corrections, like reduce the MSP for paddy, politically very difficult. So we have suggested something called a differential MSP. We have said that you will give MSP for paddy growing areas in areas where there's a lot of water. Orissa, Bihar, and other parts where you have a lot of water, let them go for paddy. We should slowly wean away farmers from sugarcane, again a problem, a water guzzler crop. So these are all issues which of water. So I'll take, I only try to put the issues of water in front of you, and why I said this background, I'll tell you. And so we have the next campaign coming up is the Catch the Rain campaign. The only way to get the water back, we can't produce water. If I give you 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule, you can produce a water. So water is never produced. So the only way is to catch the rain, store the rain, and use the rain. So that is the next campaign, which I have actually initiated last week. I've written all chief secretaries and the state government and state stakeholders to start working now itself. Normally what happens is, हम यहाँ से चिट्ठी भेजते हैं जून जुलाई में, तब तक वो नीचे पहुँचते हैं, लेटर नीचे पहुँचते सितंबर हो जाता है, तब तक बारिश भी चले जाते हैं. So that is what. So this time, maybe, I don't know, my over enthusiasm, I have written the letter in the first week of February itself with the slogan Catch the Rain. And we said, we have requested the states to use all sort of methods to get the water. And again, I wanted to shift from the rooftop harvesting, rain harvesting structures. We always talk about rooftop water harvesting structures, leaving out the larger open area. In an acre of land, you will have a building in one corner occupying very small area, and we talk hours on rooftop harvesting structures. But actual lot of rain falls on the open area, and it all flows out. So my focus this time would be not on rooftop harvesting structure, rainwater harvesting structures, but rain which is falling in the open areas. So I have requested the army chief, the railways, the universities, the education institutions. Why? Because they have the largest pool of land with them. So we have told them, start working and try to get the water harvesting structures in place. I have requested them to deseal the tanks so that you create more volumes for storing the water, etc., etc. So I request all of you to be part of this Catch the Rain campaign from your side and spread the message of catching the rain. These are two things about water. And coming back to the requirement of this digital water, the saying simply goes that if you don't measure things, you will not monitor it, and you will not have any idea what's happening. That is exactly what's happening in the electricity sector and also what's happening in the water sector. Because from my experience as Director Distribution in the Ministry of Power way back in 2010, we had phenomenal losses called AT&C losses of even 90% in Jammu and Kashmir. That means you produce electricity for 101 rupee and you write off 91 rupees power as AT&C losses. Aggregate, technical, that's 4%, and commercial losses, 92%. That's what it used to happen. AT&C losses was very high in states like Jammu and Kashmir, Manipur, and other places where things are not measured. There have losses, all of them used to put that under the umbrella of the poor farmers. They said it's all pre-bijli mein jata hai. So I come back to my old statement, unless it is measured, unless it is monitored, we will not know, it will not be monitored, and we will not be able to fix accountability. The APDRP project was started with about 50,000 crore budget to ensure that these distribution transformers and distribution on power lines are monitored. We had huge program, smart grid program. I don't know what happened to that, but things did not take off at that time. That is exactly happening in the water sector. But things are more complex in water sector because it is very difficult to measure the water flow. Electricity, it is easy to measure because electricity को direction नहीं है, नीचे से ऊपर जा सकते हैं, ऊपर से नीचे जा सकते हैं. But water has a problem. It has its own flow pattern, and we don't supply water 24 hours. I was MD of the Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply Scheme. We found that the biggest complaint or the most sought after person in the water board was the meter reader. Because वो जो vehicle लिख के देता है उसी के हिसाब से पैसे जाते हैं. And I had the audacity to transfer meter readers after about 20 years. I just transferred some of them on a day. इतने pressure आ गया मेरे ऊपर. All MLAs are after me telling that please put them back. I don't care. We will not come to you for anything else. Please put back the meter readers, not the meter readers back in position so that we will be happy. We found that once the meter readers were transferred, some of the bills of various institutions shot up from 10,000, 20,000 rupees to 70,000, 80,000 rupees. Because एक तो meter reading करता नहीं था and nobody knows where the water goes. So that's the power of meter readers. And digital meter we tried at that time with SCADA, probably the first time in the country, in the metropolitan, was started in Hyderabad at that time. Very useful. We had AMRs to look at the automatic readers to look after the bulk supply. We had GPS monitoring of the tankers. That's again the first time in the country we introduced that in 2008. So there are ways and requirement of monitoring the movement of water in tankers, the movement of water in pipes, and to measure it. At least we should be able to account for it, where it goes. So this is where the smart grid utility or smart utility of measuring of water is important. We are actually trying to quantify the water which is used. Data is another important issue which was mentioned here. India do not have much of a data culture. So whether it is in water or in electricity, data is not very, very sacrosanct. We approximate करके कर देते हैं. But if you want to look at the future scene where water would be a problem because of the growing population, growing competition of water for industry and drinking water purposes, urbanization which is happening now, you require to monitor the water, you require to meter the water, and you require to see that the data is properly collected and utilized. That's where the smart water concept comes in. You should have water to be monitored. And there are other issues of water which we faced at that time was most of the people who complained with high meter reading had one very simple excuse. They used to say that, sir, आपका पानी पाइप में पानी 24 hours रहता नहीं है, तो morning में दो घंटे जाते थे and शाम को 2 hours it used to come. He says when the water comes first time, वो हवा से आपका मीटर चालू रहता है. So you said आप हवा दे रहे and you're charging for that. So these are all, as I said, it was much easier to talk about meter, electricity meter than water meter. There are a lot of issues with this. And Hamesha, I talk because I suffered it as MD of the water board for 2 years in Hyderabad. When we started daily water supply in Hyderabad, they used to remove the meter in between because it says pressure kam ho jata hai. Because there's a pressure drop inside. Many of you are agreeing because many of you are aware of it. So I am aware of it. That's why I am telling all. There are a lot of issues like this. Unless you are, if you give 24-hour supply, क्या होगा? पूरा पानी waste हो जाता है. Because we don't have the culture of closing the taps. खोल के छोड़ देते हैं, and पानी will keep on flowing. So this is a big challenge. It is not like a challenge of in Europe, because Europe have a culture. Europe has a certain discipline. Singapore has a discipline, sort of thing. Whereas we have to overcome that mindset. We have to overcome the discipline issue. And the biggest challenge is we have to overcome the resistance in the water departments and boards. Because many of the employees do not want to measure the water. That is one of the major issues. So these are some of the issues. Anyway, I have taken 10 minutes. So I thought I'll set the context. Yes, it is very essential. Water has to be measured. We have to have new technology, whether it is Indian IoT or artificial intelligence or whatever intelligence. We have to get the water measured. Then only we'll be able to tell how much water we are using. Then only probably we'll have to plan how water should be distributed. Then only probably we'll be able to contain the wastage of water. Because as I said, in agriculture, 89% of water is used for non-sahi fasal. If you come with sahi fasal and if you can save 10% of water used in agriculture, that will suffice for the domestic industry and drinking water purposes. Because 89%, 10% is 9%. As of now, only 9% is used for drinking water and domestic purposes. So this is a very interesting concept which we have trying to do it. So my request to all of you is today, let us debate. Let us find some solutions which are implementable, and there are people from the field who will also tell about it. And and the last point is, we should make people aware of the value of water. I'm not talking about the pricing of water, value of water. And value will come only if it's pricing attached to it. I am not suggesting that you should zabardasti paisa denge, but you should be able to tell them that aapne 10 liter pani use kiya, and this water has lot of value added into it. In fact, I used to take school children to all these water stations to tell them, dekho bhai, water you get in house is pumped. In Hyderabad, I can tell you, Godavari water is pumped from 186 kilometers away. From Godavari, it comes in a pipeline which is bigger than this hall's diameter. It's about 11.5 feet diameter. So much of volume is pumped out. It requires power, it requires treatment, it requires filtration, lot of things. So the water which you get at the tap has lot of value added onto it. People are not aware of it. many people say that, oh, ये तो पानी आ रहा है, खुद भगवान की देन है. That's why I said we should be able to get the value of water to the people and tell them that this is the, if you use 10 liters of water, it is 100 rupees. I am not collecting money from you, but at least इनके दिमाग में चलना है कि ये 100 rupees का पानी use कर रहे हैं. So that's all I want to say. Thanks a lot. Thanks for hearing, and I think the moderator Sahab, Neville will take care of it, and hope that we will come out with some good suggestions, practical suggestions. Let us not think too much of smart grid solutions which are in California and some other place, which are good for India. Jugaad nahi hona chahiye, and we should also keep in mind that our people are expert in jugaad and tampering. Thank you.